really looking at one of the KTM electric bikes. This is the Macina Force 10. It's a 10-speed. We got the Bosch system on this thing. I don't know if it does it come in a couple sizes?
Yeah, it has 3 different sizes.
Three different sizes.
A 17, a 19, and a 21.
So perfect. And this is a hardtail. We got a rock shocks up front. It's got some nice adjustment going. Looks like this is an Air Force, this is a Recon.
Yeah, it's a Air Force, and it has a lockout.
Has a lockout. It's
not a remote, but it does have a lockout feature.
And I'm noticing 15mm through axle up front, probably
a quick release in the rear.
Quick release in the rear. Yeah, it's one of the things I love about the mid drives is just the weight distribution. Keep it low and centered. You're able to take the wheels off to do some trail maintenance because you can totally take this off road and really enjoy yourself. Bosch Performance Line CX. That means it's got 75 Newton meters of torque versus just 60 on the standard performance line. So, you see these on a lot of the off-road bikes. This would be a good trail bike, maybe a mountain bike. One of the things that really stood out to me when I first saw it is that it's got these, basically like for a rack, you've got some little eyelets on the back. And a lot of times those are kind of missing. I love this type of bike myself. I like to have a suspension, the bigger tires, it creates some cushion. Even though I use it around town for commuting, and being able to put that rack on the back and take some panniers or a trunk bag, awesome. That's a winning combination for me for sure. This bike's also relatively light. I was just weighing it. It's like 48 pounds. It's not too bad. And this one has pedals and everything kind of on it. It's totally being ridden. It's been out at, I think you were saying Sea Otter or something like that?
Yeah, so that tag in the back, it notifies it's one of the Sea Otter bikes that we had.
Sea Otter bikes. Right now, we're at the e-bike expo and they've got this cool tracking technology so they can see people are riding all around. I think it's been a pretty popular bike. I like the look. KTM is known for like motocross, like motorcycles and stuff, but you were saying they've been making bicycles since
1964.
1964. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's totally authentic, hardcore brand, and it's neat that, I personally think it's really neat that they're starting to do electrics in the United States. This is relatively recent, right?
Well, we started, this is the first year that we have the electric bikes in the U.S.
This is the first year, 2016. Yeah, okay, because I've seen them at like the...
in Eurobike, you'll see them. Yeah, I mean, so this year we're only bringing in 3 different models, a hardtail, full suspension, and a hybrid.
Nice.
In Europe, I believe they have close to 57 different models.
What's the price point on the Macina Force 10?
So this one retails at $44.95.
$44.95. Yes, not too bad. To hit some of the other specs for people who aren't familiar, it looks like we were working with Shimano. Are these like M316 hydraulic disc brakes, 180s?
I think there's 615s.
Oh, 615. I'm sorry, I get kind of mixed up sometimes. And I thought I saw back here, 180 in the front, 180 in the rear. Yeah. So you're getting good stopping power. Sometimes it's like 180 front, 160 rear.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
you guys...
with the speed you could possibly generate on this, you would make sure you have a little bit more stopping power.
Yeah.
A bigger rotor from 160 to 180.
Just the type of riding. We're talking real, like, off-road riding with this. Yeah. Some of the other components are really holding up nicely, too. We were talking about the drivetrain earlier. I love that you guys have this nice big rubber slap pad so you're not going to chip up your frame. And then we're looking at the Shimano SLX. So that's definitely higher in their lineup.
It's about mid-range. And to be honest with you, with the Bosch motor, you really don't drop a chain.
Yeah.
With the 15 tooth in the front, it's very hard for you to actually drop a chain.
And that's a good point, by the way. You were talking about the 15 tooth sprocket up there, and you've got like a little kind of a plastic protector, and this one's close enough to it that it's actually going to keep it on track.
Yeah.
I don't know if you even could drop it. It could slip. You could have chain slip.
We raced them at Sea Otter. This bike was raced at Sea Otter in the first electric bike race.
The race, recently. That was earlier this year.
And no, we didn't have any issues with dropping chains.
Sweet.
That I'm aware of. None of our bikes had issues.
Okay, I love it. I mean, it's cool to see a bike like this from a company like KTM. Just some other specs here. So we were talking 30.9 millimeter seat diameter. I like to call that out because it is a hardtail. Yeah, it's got suspension, but if you're someone who wants a body float or a thud buster like me, I like the comfort. That's the size you need to get. Celia Italia. I guess that's a nicer seat. Decent stuff.
I mean, and going back to what you were saying about being able to add a pannier.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, what we see is like during the weekday when they have to go to work, they can commute, they carry their stuff.
Yeah.
On the weekend, take it off. Hey, go ride on the trails.
That's perfect. Yeah, integrated wires and everything like this. I noticed that the stem, I mean, you got a couple of spacers so you could boost it up if you wanted, and it's a pretty aggressive angle, man.
Well, the reason this is like this, because like I said, this was raced last time. So, so some of the racers, obviously, they want to be more slammed.
They set that up.
Yeah.
That's not stock. Okay, I was like, dang. Then I asked the other guy, Frederico. This is Freddie, by the way.
Yes.
Right? So you've been with KTM how long?
I'm friends with the guys with the distribution rights, so I've been with them since the beginning.
Helping out kind of organic, growing
It's almost like 3 years.
3 years, man. Because you're talking about all these events and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for helping out. It's fun to get some corporate perspective when I'm out here. And it looks like, you know, this, I don't know if this pretty oversized. You got the nice head tube going on, locking grips. Let me hit the specs for the Bosch stuff. So I said that's the CX line, 75 Newton meters of torque, 350 watt rated. This is the Bosch Power Pack 400. It's really 36 volts, 11 amp hours, 396 watt hours. Pretty close. I love that you can charge it on the frame right there or off. So you can take this off. It's 5.2 pounds to reduce the weight of the frame.
Very easy to take off.
Yeah, super easy. And great locking core too. So yeah, like, look at this. Let's take this off. It's got the little handle so you don't drop it. It's got that metal ridge so that, you know, it's going to be harder to try to pry off if someone was doing that. And it clips on fairly easily. I think you just twist the key and maybe click it on.
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you. Appreciate that. And then, you know, there is one wire right here, but a lot of times I'll see bike racks where you can hang it. And if you took that off, you totally have room to do so. So it's a little bit about that. The drive system senses your wheel speed, pedal cadence, and your pedal torque. So 3 things, like 1,000 times per second. Bosch is great. Always been a big fan of that. What did you say?
2,000.
2,000 now?
The CX is 2,000.
2,000. Oh my God.
The other drive units is 1,000.
Yeah, thank you. That's news to me, man. So that's one of the other like little improvements. The other thing they've added is like the shift sensing or recommendation, little arrow, but otherwise the Intuvia display is the same. It's still removable, backlit, super big and bright. You can kind of swivel it a little bit. You've got your speed, you've got your 4 levels of assist, and you can completely turn it off if you want to ride it like a bike. 5 little battery ticks, 20% increments, and then all these little readouts here. If you press the I or if you press it over here, you don't have to take your hand off the grip. So, you know, it's a little bit more performance oriented that way. So I can go to trip distance, we got clock, we got max speed, average speed, trip time, and range. Range is sweet because as you change assist levels, you get a little bit of feedback about how far it thinks you can go. It's saying 41 miles. We aren't even fully charged. That's pretty awesome in eco. Go up to turbo, it drops down to like 12. So again, you know, it's like 25 to 80 miles. It sort of depends on how you ride.
It's depending on your weight, tire pressure, where you're riding, and assist levels. You know, it could be anywhere from as little as 25 miles if you're going straight up a mountain. Like we did Mount Evans on Thursday, and we went tour mode. We got to the top, we went to the bottom, and we still had 3 bars.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm really surprised with the kind of range you can get on these. So that's all about Bosch. It carries their warranty, so it's like 2 years battery, 2 years motor, so drive system basically. And then the frame, we're like talking about 5 years. So pretty solid stuff. And you're talking about dealers KTM dealers in the United States are going to start getting these, so you'll be able to see them. And
yeah, I mean, we've been developing, especially this being the first year of the e-bikes. You know, we're starting to get more and more dealers. That's why we're doing this shows as well.
Yeah, that's great to see. I was excited when I saw the logo, you know, the brand logo and stuff. I think that's a pretty thorough overview of what this offers. What was exciting to me when we were talking about this bike before was when you said, hey, I have my own special bike. I have like a secret project. Can you show me that?
Yeah.
Can we do that? Okay, this is sweet. This is the same platform, so the Macina Force 10, but do you notice anything different about it? You notice that thing? I don't even know what that's called, but then you look at the rims here and look at these cranks. That's carbon fiber, folks. How much does this thing weigh?
So it weighs 36.8.
36.8 pounds, under 40 pounds, well under 40 pounds.
And I'm actually going to build another one that's going to be even lighter.
Even lighter?
Yeah.
Are you manorexic?
No.
Is there a problem here?
No, I mean, it's just being able to like showcase the things that you could do with the e-bike platform.
Well, let's talk about the stock price first. How much is this?
The stock one is $44.95.
$44.95 again. Okay, so how much have you added to this, like dollar-wise? Call out the components here. Just point at them and give me a tour.
This is the last fork. I actually get stopped more to talk about the fork than the whole e-bike itself.
Laugh or leaf or what?
Leaf. It's pronounced leaf, but it's spelled L-A-U-F.
L-A-U-F.
And it's a carbon fork.
Damn.
It has 60 millimeters of travel. It weighs 990 grams.
990 grams.
So it basically drops 2.5 pounds depending on what fork you have from any manufacturer.
Yeah, forks are heavy, and it still has the through axle.
It's a through axle, obviously for the stiffness, and but what I like about it is how it changes the bikes. It's like it makes the front end really light, really agile.
Yeah.
So you know, maybe you're not a strong upper body, or you don't have that control of the bike, being so much a lot lighter. It's easier to maneuver, easier to lift over rocks, especially for females. Then people, it makes a big difference.
They ask a lot of times, like, "Hey, what's a cheap way to make an electric bike?" And it's like, well, you can get a wheel with a hub motor and slap it on the front. You don't have to deal with the cassette and all that, but it totally changes your handling. The grip doesn't change.
Exactly,
your travel is going to be messed up if you have a suspension fork. It can get loose. So when you're talking about lightweight handling performance, I mean, this is spectacular, man.
And zero maintenance. It has no, it doesn't have any seals. 5-year warranty.
Okay.
Zero maintenance. I mean, it's a really good product.
Disc compatible, obviously. Yeah. I noticed you changed out the brakes on this one. You really went hardcore.
Yeah, I mean, so we're working with FSA.
Yeah.
So that's why you notice the wheels, carbon bars, the stem, the seat post.
Dang, I didn't even notice the carbon. Everything here, man.
Yeah, except for the stem. Actually, because this one ended up being lighter.
Okay.
So and then even the brakes themselves have carbon levers as well.
Yeah. Very cool.
It's a very nice. And we upgraded to XTR 11 speed as well.
I want to shout out to Bosch again. One of the cool things about all their drive systems for the past like 4 years or whatever is that they have shift sensing. They don't require brake lever inhibitors. This is a class 1 electric bike, 20 mile per hour top speed, pedal assist only. And so you can swap out the levers and it doesn't matter. Like everything else on this bike is just bicycle.
Yeah, I tell people like within 15 seconds, after you do 1 lap on the course, you're an expert. Because the only thing that changes from a regular bike is just being able to select the different modes.
That's right.
That's about it.
And you can totally, it's not cluttered. I like that. You know, obviously I'm a huge fan of the Bosch drive system, and you see it on something like this. That's rad too. I like the colors. Yeah. You know, it matches your glasses. Was this intentional? Yeah.
No, not really. Well, my business colors are green, so that's why.
There you go. Green. Yeah.
One of my favorite features is the bell.
Yeah, that's nice.
People on the trail.
That's important. Be passing a lot of people. Is this the same? Do you have the same derailleur and?
No, so we upgraded to 11 speed on this one.
Okay.
So we went almost all out. We're still gonna go even lighter on this. More fun. Like we have a lot of people that have the interest on having a build like just like this.
Yeah.
So that's 11 speed Shimano XTR.
So that's ahead of SLX.
Yeah. I mean, this is top range. The only one above this is will be Di2.
Is that the like electronic shifting one?
No, the Di2 is the electronic one.
Mm-hmm.
So this is just.
Oh, that's what I mean. Yeah. So the next step is electronic. Yeah. This is the highest level.
I didn't want electronic because they would have added more weight and just just more batteries and stuff. There's no need. This works really well.
You got a greater range here too. What was the other? This one looks like 40. So it's like 1140. Was that 1136 over there? Maybe?
Yeah. It's 1140.
Does this have the? I was looking in here, almost like narrow wide teeth. Or are you guys running standard?
You mean the chain?
Yeah, on the chain ring up front. Sometimes I see narrow wide.
That's a stock FSA front cog.
Sweet.
And one of the cool things about this bike is that I'm aware of. There's only 3 of these Miranda carbon cranks in the United States, and we happen to have all 3 of them. It's pretty nice. I mean, as far as weight savings, it didn't really save anything, but as far as bling, it stands out.
Dang.
And that's what we were going with this bike. We wanted to show people what like you can personalize your bike.
It draws you in. Yeah. The fork. You start with the fork, and then you look closer, and you're like, dang.
More for the fork than for the e-bike. People don't even realize it's an e-bike until I tell them it is. Because they're so drawn for the fork.
So what do you think this costs altogether, just for someone? Because we were talking about, what is it, 4,500
We're thinking about retailing this one for about $8,000. This build.
$8,000?
Yeah, and it's like I said, there's, it's 36.9 pounds, completely decked out. There's carbon everywhere, and it's a reliable. When I built this bike, I wanted everything to be reliable. I don't want to have like a lightweight stuff that breaks.
Well, and we were talking about, you have a full suspension bike too from KTM. What's that one called?
That's the Macina
Lycan. Cool.
And that's a 130 millimeter in the front, 125 in the rear.
But when you go full suspension, it adds weight. And so we're coming back to why you chose this as your platform.
So the reason I chose it is my personal bike, so I can commute. We're from Florida, so we don't have big hits. So it's this is more fun. It's more versatile. I can ride it on the road as well.
Yeah.
I don't have the loss of transmission because of the rear suspension.
Right.
Lighter weight as well. And I just like hardtails. That's really what we ride down there.
You actually use this ever?
No, not yet.
Not so much?
I am thinking of doing it as well, but I only commute 5 hours. I mean 5 miles to work.
5 miles, not bad.
So there's no need for that.
That's sick, man. That is sick. I think, and physics saddle too. This saddle wasn't bad. I mean, we were talking about it. So coming back to the stock builds, I'm gonna hop on this thing, pedal it around a little bit. Maybe you can ride with me, and I can show you doing some.
I'll see if I can keep up with you.
Yeah, awesome. You're gonna have to work for it, man. Here we go. I'm hopping on. I'm going to aero. I think I'm just going to do turbo mode. I mean, I review these Bosch bikes all the time. They're pretty similar. It's a geared mid-mount motor. You do hear a little bit of whine, like in the higher RPM, some whine, but it's not terrible. They're relatively quiet. And with tread on it, that kind of cancels out the noise that you hear from the motor anyway. So, yeah, why don't we... I'll just show you for a minute. I want to stay close to you, take a look at that suspension fork. Nice. Yeah, I can actually see it moving.
Yeah. So it's 100% carbon fiber.
Cool. Got that shift sensing working. Okay, now I'm going to take it over here to the ramp, show you the motor. Super responsive. We're already at 20, so I'm always surprised how quickly with the Bosch bike you're just like, whoa, and then, oh, you're back to normal pedal power. But you know, that's what keeps it class 1, and the system works really great. I tend to ride lower, like in eco or tour mode. Again, really nice for commuting. Mind if I give that one a try? Cool. Just take it out. You're in turbo. And the carbon, wow. You definitely notice, like, right away, it's got this light feeling to it. There's that leaf fork. Yeah, it's cool. You know, a little bit of bounce there. Doesn't quite have the same rebound properties that I see on some other forks and stuff, but just the handling is super fast. It's really lined up straight, so even though the fork's curved, you get a similar feel on handling. Freddie, this has been awesome. I really appreciate you hanging out with me, giving me like an overview and showing me your personal project here. I have a feeling people are gonna have fun with this one. Like, excited to see the final build. For the full write-up on this and some other KTM bikes in the future as I travel around, I'll see you back at electricbikereview.com. I got the forum set up and stuff, so you can chime in if you've got one of these, you got some questions. Who's the guy you were talking about in Florida or somewhere that has like a jump course or something?
No, it's in Texas. It's a new dealer in Texas. I'm not aware of the name.
Yeah, I don't want to like send people out to his land or anything, but yeah, you know, we got some cool dealers. People with that motocross background tend to have a lot of fun with this stuff.
Yeah.
So
They love it.
Sweet, man. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Have a good day.
Ride safe.